Okay, guys, I give you instruction in the dressing room. They're having a clean match, okay? The trunk is a little high. Here, it's okay. Okay, good luck. God bless you.
Luis Pabon, the third man in the ring tonight. Christina Poncher and Nico Ali Walsh here with you. This one for the WBA Bantamweight World Championship. The champion Takuma Inoue making his second defense of his title against former world title challenger and WBA #1 ranked Sho Ishida. Ishida in the silver trunks with the blue trim. Inoue in the green trunks.
Inoue naturally is the boxer, but because of the height advantage and the reach advantage from Ishida, I think it's going to go opposite this fight.
Ishida started training for this fight in February, just a day after Inoue defended his title against Ancajas. I think he knew that this fight was on the horizon and said, look, I've grown mentally so much after losing my world title fight back in 2017. That was a loss to Khalid Yafai back in October of 2017 for the world super flyweight world title. And he says, I don't want to taste a loss again, not at this point in my career. I am ready to become a world champion.
Both of these guys haven't lost in years. So they definitely, I think their losses woke them up, set a fire in their hearts.
Well, that's when they say, you know, things really get started sometimes after you take your
right.
first loss.
That's right. You know whether you want it or not. You can really see the difference in height between Ishida and Inoue.
Inoue shooting that jab straight across, and it lands right to the midsection there of Ishida. Nearly a 4-inch reach advantage, and Inoue gets knocked down here in round 1.
That was just a perfectly timed counter.
I mean, if you talk about catching somebody cold, you got to come out ready when you're fighting a guy like Ishida, who has been at the world stage before. He's a 37-fight vet. And I just got done saying that he knows what he's gained from his losses, and he feels like this is the right time to become a world champion. And here he gets a knockdown scored in round 1. Inoue did not look hurt by that knockdown.
No, it seemed like it was a bit of a flash knockdown, but it was just a perfectly timed punch. Like I said before, any punch that's placed perfectly would put anybody down.
And we'll give you a look at the knockdown as we come to the end of round 1, a 10-8 round in the books for Ishida. You can't ask for a better start unless, of course, you victory.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's take a look at the shot here in that left hand, just
see.
right on the button.
It was a
Perfect
jab.
timing.
It was a jab. It was just a perfectly placed jab. That's rare to get a knockdown from a jab. But like I said, any shot that's perfectly placed, I don't believe it hurt in a way. That's definitely going to change the tempo of the fight. Inoue was working on the back foot. I thought that would be his plan for the fight, but he's going to have to be a little bit more aggressive just to catch up on that 10-8 round.
Have you been in a fight, Nico, where you kind of, you know, they say like kind of got caught cold or got caught early by a shot, and you're like, okay, that woke you up. That
yeah, of course. I've been hit with shots that are embarrassing that I say I shouldn't have been hit by that, and it completely changed the game plan. You look like a different fighter. I think that's what's going to happen with Inoue. He's not going to get caught like that again.
Ishida using that long range jab to keep Inoue at bay as he looks to hold and bring action back to the center of the ring.
Naturally, you'd like to see Inoue go on the inside because of how tall Ishida is. Inoue can get away with throwing punches to the body. He's shorter, a little quicker.
And there's a nice uppercut. I think that's another shot for Inoue that's going to be available for him, as sometimes Ishida does hang that, his chin over that front foot, kind of having to almost bend down to the shorter fighter in Inoue.
I've seen Inoue's fights. That uppercut lands a lot. He's good at throwing that.
Nice combination there from Inoue.
He's got good rhythm in a way. When there's little empty pockets where no one's throwing anything, he's still moving his head or having rhythm.
There's Ishida just pawing with that long jab, just that stick to keep Inoue thinking, as he's been a little hesitant. Big gaps in between when he's throwing his shots. I mean, he looks pretty fluid when he lets his combinations go, but I mean, 20 seconds has gone by before Inoue just finally shot that jab and then another one. Definitely taking his time, maybe a little weary of catching a shot he doesn't see coming, like the jab that caught him for the knockdown in round one as he shoots the uppercut once again with the right hand.
Inoue tried to counter Ishida's jab with the uppercut, but he was out of range. See, that uppercut's landing perfectly on the inside. He's got to stay close like that if he wants to land it. He's finding that distance. Once Inoue finds that distance, I believe he'll start doing a lot better.
Oh, nice shot there with the left hand from Inoue.
Bloody nose, yeah, from Ishida. That's going to be important to note for this fight. Takuma Inoue is not necessarily a power puncher, but still, punches are punches. Ishida's a little bit bloody right now just from taking those clean shots. No one can take those clean shots. No one's invincible.
And Shingo Inoue, father of both Takuma and Naoya, pulling double duty tonight as both of his sons fighting on the same card. Before we get to the main event, Inoue versus Neri, we still have our co-main event, Jason Maloney against Yoshiki Takai. That's coming up next. Right now, younger brother in the ring and suffered a knockdown in round one. Was not the first time he's been down in his professional career, actually the third time as a pro he's seen the canvas, so responded from adversity before, only one loss on his record. So we head into round three, he's looking to establish his jab.
Getting a knockdown like that in the first round can do two things for Ishida, for any fighter. It can either make you lazy or it can make you step on the gas. And it seems like it made him get a little stagnant last round, Ishida.
Why would it make you lazy? Why would you even like?
When you land a shot like that, you kind of get overconfident.
Oh, you're like, okay, got you.
So then you kind of step off the gas a little bit. You feel as though that your opponent got knocked down from the first round, the first easy shot. But it seems like it set a fire in Inoue. He's going off now.
Ishida's got blood streaming still from the nose, and there's a crisp left hand. There's another one there landed by Inoue. Nice combination there. You can see that Inoue is getting more comfortable. His shots are a little bit more fluid. You see his hand speed a little bit more
The right
on
uppercut.
display.
The right uppercut's going to be the bread and butter for Inoue this fight.
As Ishida looks to maintain that distance, and Inoue hooks around with the left upstairs and then brings it down to the body. You can see even in his face and his body language, Inoue getting you more of a rhythm here in round 3. Chopping right hand. Down to the body with the left.
Inoue's got great punch selection. He's going different spots. He's targeting the head, the body, different areas. They're landing.
Again, sneaky body shot in the inside. Some of these shots are so quick. Nice counter shot. Good right hand gets in there from Ishida to the body of Inoue. Best round of the fight so far here in round 3.
Definitely. Ishida's doing real good at using his jab, trying to keep him at bay, but Inoue's moving his head so well, he's able to sneak inside and get those body shots in.
No, stop.
He's just crafty. Inoue's just crafty, especially with a taller fighter like this. He's going to stay getting in on the inside. Him and his brother, amazing footwork.
How many times do you think they've sparred each other?
That's a good question.
In the gym.
If ever. You know, some of these
Yeah.
guys never even spar each other. You got people in the same family fighting, they never do
Maybe
anything.
just verbal sparring
Yeah.
over things as brothers do.
See that right uppercut. That right uppercut is landing in. It's crazy to see how bloody Ishida is and only what's coming out to be the 4th round. Those body shots are going to be important throughout the fight. I really like what Inoue has done since the 1st round. Sometimes people need that knockdown to just wake them up. It looks like that's what happened for Inoue.
Round 4 of this scheduled 12-round World Championship fight, the WBA Bantamweight World title on the line. The champion starting round 4 with some good success. And for Inoue, this is a big opportunity to be a part of a huge card. But walking out of there as a world champion and then coming back to watch your brother fight later on in the main event for undisputed against a guy like Luis Neri who has some history in Japan. I mean, you got to compartmentalize, right? Like, okay, I got to take care of my business, but I'm also thinking about what we are a part of tonight, and that's a historic card in Tokyo, Japan. I mean, what a moment for the Inoue family to be a part of this historic night.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure Naoya is more nervous for Takuma's fight than his own. That's usually how it is.
That's exactly what the Maloney brothers have told me when they have fought before. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm almost more anxious for my brother. Like, I know I've prepared and what I can do. I have control of what I can do, but not being able to, help them or be there for them, that's the challenging part for sure.
As a fighter, you get more nervous for what you can't control. When I'm watching a friend's fight, when I'm watching someone I like fight, I get more nervous for their fight than my own because, like you said, you can't control it. So I'm sure Naoya's watching from backstage right now in the dressing room.
Some good work there from Inoue, and Ishida just is landing better shots when he's at that like middle or longer distance. When he gets inside, Inoue is just having his way.
Yeah, Ishida's got to use his reach. Naturally, you have to use your height and your reach. And Inoue's just finding a way to get in on the inside, and that right uppercut's landing, the left hook to the body's landing.
Ishida down to the body a bit. in that exchange, but not a lot of steam on these punches right now for the challenger.
You can see a huge difference in the tempo on who's throwing more punches since the knockdown.
Another solid round here for the champ.
Inoue was smiling at the end of that round. He's feeling himself right now. He's finding his groove. A punch that Inoue likes to throw, both Inoues actually, is the right uppercut and the left hook to the body. You know, one of them normally lands, and it doesn't matter which one lands. If one of them lands, then, you know, it could be the end of the fight, whether it's the uppercut or the left hook.
Nico, if you're in Ishida's corner, what do you think or they should be telling him, or what will they tell him to try to get him back in control of this fight? What does he need to do?
I'm sure they may have yelled at him a little bit after the second round, because the first round, you know, he got the knockdown and it seemed as though he got a bit stagnant. He stopped throwing as much, and Inoue put on that pressure. Inoue started coming forward. So I would definitely tell Ishida, you know, do what you were doing. Throw more punches. You know, it's combos and staying at distance that's going to keep Inoue away. But when he's not throwing that jab, you know, Inoue is getting on the inside every single time.
Beautiful work around the guard there from Inoue. Back to the stick, and then out of the way of the long right hand coming from Ishida. Caught a shot there, though. That was a good jab from Ishida. Doubling, tripling up on it now.
Ishida's just got to stay at that distance that he's at right now. He'll find a ton of success at the medium and long range. Inoue won't be able to do anything from that range.
Down to the body, Ishida goes with the jab. And again with the right hand, Inoue missing there.
When a fighter gets tired, sometimes they feel more comfortable sitting on the inside. Even though it seems like it would require more energy to throw inside punches, sometimes it's just out of laziness that a fighter would just sit there and start throwing inside. So it seems like Ishida's doing that sometimes, where he could just stay on the outside. It requires more work to be on the outside to keep your opponent at bay.
Scoring jab there for Ishida. Inoue using some feints, gets caught there again with another shot.
That was a good shot.
Ishida having more moments here in round 5 as Inoue looks to keep working that lead left hand. He shot it as an uppercut. He's turned it to a hook. And then, of course, an uppercut there with the right hand twice.
Ishida's dropping his left hand when he's throwing those right uppercuts. He got caught a few times there in that exchange by Inoue. This was a much better round, though, for Ishida.
Oh, nice right hand to put an exclamation point on it there.
I'd like to see how the corner is reacting with Ishida right now.
Junto Nakatani in attendance ringside. That's a bad mamma jamma too. Can't wait to see him back in the ring again. I mean, Japanese fighters, Japanese boxing is absolutely fire.
Yeah, you're right about that.
All right, round 6 of the scheduled 12-rounder. Much better round in round 5 for Ishida. After what seemed like taking the prior round or two off here. And
immediately they're going just on close range work, which is not advisable for Ishida. He should definitely be using his range. This is the fight that Inoue wants to fight. The fight that's on the inside, where you're throwing inside punches, body shots.
Yeah, nice uppercut there. And left hand for Inoue. Stab jab to the body for Ishida. It's caught with a big jab from Inoue with that lead left hand.
He's so fast.
And blood just pouring out of the nose of Ishida each round, too.
He's so accurate with his shots in a way. He's countering Ishida's jab. Even though Ishida's got the range on him, it's a longer distance to bring that hand back after the jab.
There he does a good job of taking a little half step back to avoid that jab from Inoue to the body.
People also got to remember that Inoue is coming off of his last fight, a knockout. So he's confident in his punching power, or at least in the placement of his punches. He knows what he can do.
Yeah, 2 of his last 3 fights have not gone the distance. Down to the body with the left hand, and even though he suffered that knockdown in round 1, I don't get the feeling that Inoue is really concerned with the power of Ishida. He's willing to stand in there, throw, even take some shots up against the ropes when needed. I mean, I know that was the flash knockdown, a shot that he didn't see coming, but I don't think at this point he sees Ishida sitting down on those shots.
Yeah, it looks like Ishida's respecting Inoue's power more than Inoue's respecting Ishida's.
And there's a left hand from Inoue.
That right uppercut.
That would have landed flush.
Yeah, I saw from the first round. I know Takuma Inoue's bread and butter. He's great with that uppercut.
And just the way how technically sound getting his head off the line and throwing a killer shot.
Yep. When you've got someone like Inoue who's noticeably shorter than the opponent, he can find crafty ways of getting inside. Like he slipped inside, which is slipping to your left is a dangerous slip. You're supposed to be slipping outside of punches, whereas Inoue slipped to his left but still landed that hook. It's a risky shot, but he did it.
Inoue picking his shots now, then moving back around the outside. Ishida, other than a jab, hasn't been throwing a lot of combinations.
Yeah.
We expected a little more work. I mean, he's usually kind of although rangy, does still apply pressure.
Yeah, even if the shots that you're taking aren't hurting for Ishida, the fact that he's got a bad bloody nose, I'd say, sometimes you get a little gun shy. His punch output has changed a little bit. He's throwing a lot of jabs, Ishida, but he's not really changing the different combos like Inoue is. His selection of punches, I would say.
He's also, Nico, not really letting that right hand go either. I mean, he's shooting the jab or doubling up on the jab, but for whatever reason, I mean, we're halfway through round 7 and he hasn't really thrown much of the right hand at all.
It's tough because throwing the right hand against someone who's as quick as Inoue is a risky shot because you can get countered. We saw in the replay of the last round, he threw somewhat of a lazy jab and then got countered from that.
Well, I mean, he just threw it for the first time a second ago when he actually landed a shot to the body with it. You gotta give yourself a chance.
Yeah. You gotta just sometimes just pull the trigger on the shots.
But it's been jab, double jab.
Yeah.
And even that was just kind of a little baby shot with the right hand.
If he stays at that distance, if Ishida stays at the distance that they're at right now, he could land any shot. When you land at the end of your punches, that's the best.
Inoue having such a solid round here in round 7, just picking his shots in and out, very efficient with the shots, and then Ishida scores there on a jab, and then right back to work goes Inoue.
His head movement is great anyway.
But I mean, really no steam on these punches from Ishida at all as he continues to just do a lot of work with the jab.
Yeah.
Okay, stop. Stop.
It's so interesting to see. It looks like Ishida is respecting his punching power in a ways. He just seems a little more gun shy. He's not throwing the different combinations, most likely out of fear of getting countered because of how fast Inoue is.
And as you can see in that replay too, Inoue just had like a half an inch off on some of these shots from being what could be, we could be looking at a totally different outcome at this point in the fight.
Inoue's a natural counter puncher. Even if he gets hit, he throws. There was a point in the last round where he got hit with a jab and exchanged the jab for a right hand. That's a good trade. Anyone will take that trade.
Round 8.
Round 8. And, you know, Inoue has been pulling away throughout the middle rounds of this fight. I mean, you got to think about Ishida making some adjustments, taking it to another level to try to defeat the champion in this fight. But I'm just seeing kind of the same combinations, the same patterns from Ishida.
Yeah, he would have to change his punch selection. He'd have to up his output.
Is that some of the things you're looking for from him, Nico?
Definitely, definitely. And especially, you know, the judging. I know he got dropped in the first round in a way, but he's not going to win the fight from the champ by staying doing what he's doing right now, Ishida. You got to beat the champ.
At least have a little more sense of urgency as Inoue's punch selection, technical prowess, the way he's measuring distance. I mean, it's been a joy to watch, and you know, maybe he doesn't have the, he doesn't have the same amount of power that his brother possesses, but how many fighters do really? That's just a God-given gift
Yeah,
that his brother has.
teach
But
power.
still, he's still a very technically sound, great boxer.
He's got incredible speed in a way. And he's very slick with his counters, with his head movement.
You can hear the crowd getting a little bit more into the fight now as we're in round 8. I think there's some Inoue fans in that building.
There might be.
Maybe a handful. Maybe 50,000 of the 55.
Right. The Oya is a hero over there, an absolute legend.
I was reading an article, one of the Japanese boxing writers saying that he is as big of a celebrity in Japan as Shohei Ohtani is. Like, we don't see it as much here. And obviously, Ohtani playing for the Dodgers,
Yeah.
we know what he means to baseball. But Inoue, Naoya Inoue is right up there. So the amount of money that he makes in his sponsorships, like, outdoes it, majority of the fighters' purses.
Yeah, it's
these days.
It's insane.
It's incredible. Looking forward to seeing him in our main event, but his brother putting in work right now, little brother, in round 8.
Inoue's really stuck with the game plan since coming off in the first round. His punch selection has been great. He's been throwing and moving. His output has been great. It seems as if, you know, he's won every single round since then. Guys like Inoue that are shorter than you and slick in their head movement are tough to fight. You just saw in the replay how, you know, Ishida would throw a punch and Inoue would just slip under it, roll under it, and he'd find ways to land body shots. Those guys are really, really tough. You go inside with them. It's hard to fight a shorter and faster guy like that if you're not fighting at a distance.
Like, they didn't even wipe all the blood out of his nose either. They just stick that big Q-tip in there and then pull it out, and then the blood just continues to stream out.
And it's gonna keep streaming because Inoue is targeting it. You know, he's a smart fighter. I believe the bloody nose started maybe in like the 3rd or 4th round, but Inoue hasn't let up on it. You know, he's targeting that nose.
And he just peppered it there a couple times with the left and then finished with the right.
That was a good shot from Ishida. Ishida's punches aren't fully getting turned through.
There's no pop on them whatsoever.
Yeah, he's not turning on his punches. Inoue, you can see that Inoue's punching with intent. He's throwing his shots and fully turning on them.
I mean, just pop, 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 like he's just working the pads. It's not even like he's really putting any of his base into those shots.
Yeah. You know, like I said, he may have got a sense of false confidence, Ishida, in the first round. The shot that he landed that knocked Inoue down wasn't a strong shot. So maybe he thought, you know, the jab that knocked him down was good enough to knock him down again.
I don't know. He's a savvy vet, a 37 fight vet. I mean, he should. There's levels to this, and he's fought at the top level. He's been in a world championship fight before. He's a former Japanese junior bantamweight champion. I think he defended that title like 5 times. I mean, he's fought at a higher level, and
he's fought guys like Inoue.
He's got to take it to another level if he wants to walk out here tonight a world champion. I mean, these opportunities don't come around all the time. Some fighters rarely get 1 opportunity, never mind 2 opportunities to try to become a world champion. And at this point, he's really got to turn it up if he wants to walk out of there with the belt.
You're right.
Inoue just pop, pop, pop so much quicker with these shots. Uppercut.
We're going a lot on the inside. I feel like that's maybe a tad bit of, you know, a sign that maybe Ishida's getting tired. It's like I said before, it's easier to go on the inside. It's easier to trade shots on the inside, but that's not what Ishida should be doing against.
No, that was definitely a push, and Luis Pabon made that clear. There's about 10 seconds left here in round 9. And Inoue puts an exclamation point on that.
Yep.
And interesting though, for a second, Pabon told him, okay, listen to me, no holding. I don't feel like there's been excessive holding through this point. I mean, that was kind of a stern warning from Pabon, although I really don't feel like that's been much of an issue.
It could become an issue. Normally when you see fighters who start pushing each other down, like stuff like that, it shows frustration. If anyone's frustrated, it's Ishida. So, I mean, we'll see in the next round or so if that becomes...
Look at me. No hold. No hold. You hold. You hold. Hey. No hold.
Well, that was about as clear as you can be.
Yeah, I didn't see them holding a lot.
Round 10.
I
just get the sense at any moment Inoue could turn it up another notch and maybe get Ishida out of there.
Yeah, I mean, he's landing clean shots.
I mean, and maybe he's coming out this round throwing pretty hard shots here. Perhaps he senses the same thing, as there's no real resistance coming from Ishida. And Inoue's got a little more sense of urgency here in round 10.
Yeah, I mean, if Ishida keeps fighting Inoue's fight, there would be no reason for Inoue to not capitalize on that. You know, Ishida keeps wanting to throw on the inside with him. You gotta use that opportunity if you're Inoue. If he wants to throw on the inside, that's your spot. That's where your strength is right now.
Oh, nice uppercut, just snapping the head back of Ishida. Ishida does have 3 losses on his record, but all of those losses have been by decision. He has not been stopped as a professional in his 37 career fights. That'd be a nice feather in the cap of Takuma Inoue if he could get a stoppage here tonight in his 2nd world title defense.
I'm here, clean fight.
Good shot there from Ishida with the right hand.
Ishida's throwing more this round. Maybe he's feeling the urgency.
He needs to.
It's round 10. I mean, he definitely has to step it up.
And he's gone down to the body there twice with the right hand. Although they weren't fighting shots, those are still scoring punches. But he's got to let his hands go to give himself a shot here. We're getting into the championship rounds. Oh, beautiful uppercuts. Nice work with the right hand there from Inoue.
He's definitely coming back, Ishida.
But yeah, at least he's fighting back more here in round 10 than what we've seen in the previous rounds.
That's right. There wasn't a dull second in this round so far. Ishida's answering all those punches.
Inoue just pawing that jab out there and throws away the right hand just to land another with the left, then goes down to the body of Ishida. 25 seconds left here in round 10. Little sloppy with the combinations there from Inoue.
Inoue's using his speed, even if these punches aren't landing flush.
Yeah, nice job there with the counter with the left hand on the end of that exchange. But some of the work was a little bit more crisp in other rounds, I think, for Inoue, but nonetheless still consistently applied pressure there and finally got Ishida to step up a little bit there in that round.
Yeah, I mean, if Ishida stays on the gas like he was that round, it could make for a, you know, a a closer decision in the end if it goes the full distance. But those right uppercuts are not missing from Inoue. To avoid those right uppercuts, Ishida's got to stay more so on the left, on his left, on Inoue's right. He'd be able to slip those uppercuts, but in the replay you saw that he didn't move his head at all. Some fighters even block under their chin to avoid, if they're trying to avoid one shot and uppercut, they'll just block under the chin.
All right, round 11. The WBA bantamweight world title on the line. Down to the body with the left hand goes Inoue.
He's throwing those different punches now, Ishida. He's letting that right hand go.
Okay, stop.
But the disparity in the punch variation is vast. I mean, what Inoue has been able to display in terms of the different combinations that he's thrown versus Ishida coming with the one, sometimes a 1-2, maybe a shot down to the body, but he hasn't shown a big range in terms of different combinations that he's been able to execute here tonight.
Yeah. Ishida looks like he's not throwing as much as he was the last round. His output is definitely lessened.
Strong jab there from Ishida, scores. Then he goes down to the body with the right hand.
That's his distance right there. That's Ishida's distance.
Right hand scores for Inoue on the end of that exchange. And then he throws those uppercuts, such beautiful work on the inside with those shots.
You can see right before Inoue landed that he tried to throw a right uppercut from the outside and it didn't land. That's almost an impossible punch to land from long range.
That distance, yeah. Unless you're like Bernardo Lopez, right? Or Emmanuel Navarrete, who throws an uppercut from like left field and it connects.
Those guys are different.
Absolutely, they are different.
Okay, stop.
And again, I mean, you want to see Ishida put together another round like he had in that last one.
Yeah.
Here, round 11 or round 12. And I think he, again, stepped off the gas a little bit.
He's going to have to step on the gas fully in this last round.
Coming on strong now, these last 20 seconds as they exchange. Great action, right hand connects for Inoue. Ishida ate that.
Inoue's winning these exchanges. He's landing cleaner shots.
Those are some hard shots, and Ishida took those to the chin very well.
Those are dangerous shots to land. Those are dangerous shots to eat.
We go to the 12th and final round of this bantamweight championship fight. The WBA champ Inoue tonight in his second defense. Likely up on the cards. I mean, I know I'm not having you score here in your maiden voyage, but I'm sure you would agree that
of course
Inoue's likely up on the cards here.
And I think Ishida's team knows that as well, and I think we'll see him maybe push on the gas a little bit more at the start of this next round.
라운드 12 라스트 라운드.
So we'll see if he steps on the gas, Ishida. We'll know immediately if he will.
Okay,
Inoue definitely doesn't seem to be letting up here. Sometimes you do see fighters, particularly champions, when they feel like they're up on the card, kind of just try to work off the jab, work around the outside, avoid risk, but he's willing to stand there on the inside with Ishida.
Takuma Inoue is not that kind of fighter to be up on the scorecards and just coast the rest of the way. He's definitely a guy who wants to make a statement.
And I think that's more of what fight fans want to see, right?
Yeah. That's how you get more fans. No one wants to watch a boring fighter.
Under 2 minutes left to go here in round 12. Inoue was looking for that right hand, just leaned completely into it.
Inoue's not getting enough credit. I know I've been talking about his inside work, which has been great, but he's almost boxing on the outside now, and it's working well for him.
Quick little jab to the body there for Inoue.
See, Inoue's on his back foot right now.
Yeah, and that urgency you were looking to see from Ishida.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
Doubling up on the jab there, just touching the gloves of Inoue.
The urgency that Inoue is showing is the urgency that Ishida should be showing right now. You know, like you said, Inoue doesn't need to be putting on as much pressure as he's putting on right now.
45 seconds left to go. The second world title defense for Inoue, and Ishida gets in a left hand there. Inoue answers right back there, forehead to forehead here with about 30 seconds left to go in the contest, and Ishida finally starts to let his hands go there. You can tell he's exhausted, maybe even has a broken nose. It's bled consistently throughout the fight.
It's been about nine rounds, maybe more, of just consistent bleeding every single round.
Inoue throwing Ishida to the ground with under 10 seconds left to go here, and there's the bell.
Yeah.
This one will go to the scorecards. The second title defense, and likely, I mean, if things go the way that you've seen it, Inoue walks out of here still with his WBA bantamweight title.
Definitely. I mean, the way that I've seen the fight, Ishida didn't win a ton of rounds since the knockdown in the first. That really set a fire in Inoue. Inoue didn't stop from the second round to the 12th. That shows conditioning. Being able to just keep that output consistently for basically 11 full rounds is incredible.
それでは大橋フェニックスプロモーション、そしてテイケンプロモーションプライムビデオプレゼンツ
We're going to go to the scorecards now.
WBA 世界バンタム級タイトルマッチ12ラウンド採点をお知らせいたします。まずジャッジピニットプレーヤードサブ、同じくジャッジ浅尾和信118対109、ジャッジ染谷道明116対111以上3対0のユナニマスディシジョンをもちまして勝者 WBA 世界バンタム級チャンピオン井上Takuma.
118, 109 twice, 116, 111. Your winner by unanimous decision. Obviously, you saw his hand raised before we got the score in our earpiece because my Japanese is not on par. But unanimous decision, and why too, which is what we thought. Takuma Inoue still the WBA